If you're afraid of change, watch this story until the end. It might shift the way you see everything that's falling apart. There was once a young fox named Rumi who lived deep in an ancient forest. Rumi knew every bend in the stream, every hollow tree, every mossy trail. His days followed a quiet rhythm. Wake with the sun. Hunt by the creek. Rest beneath the cedar. Nothing ever changed, and that's exactly how he liked it. One day, as summer faded, Rumi noticed the first leaf fall. Then another. Then thousands. The green forest he knew was changing, gold, red, brown. It felt unfamiliar. He grew uneasy. One night, a violent storm rolled through the forest. Winds howled. Trees fell. The paths he walked were buried in branches and mud. The next morning, the forest was unrecognizable. His favorite hunting ground was flooded. His sleeping spot was gone. Even the birds seemed to be singing a different tune. Rumi panicked. He tried to follow his old routes, but they no longer led anywhere. He circled the same dead ends over and over, hoping things would return to the way they were. They didn't. In his fear, Rumi sought the oldest creature in the forest, a quiet monk who lived beneath the whispering tree. Rumi told him everything. The storm. The change. The confusion. The monk listened and then asked, "Do you know why trees let go of their leaves?" Rumi shook his head. "So they don't break under the weight of winter," the monk said. "They release what they no longer need, so they can survive what comes next. And in time, they bloom again." And just like Rumi, if you're still listening, it means you're growing too. So if this story is already making you reflect, tap like, and consider subscribing. We share stories that whisper the truths you've always felt. But Rumi still clung to the past. He tried to rebuild his den in the same spot, but the ground was too wet. He searched for the same prey, but they had moved on. He returned to the monk again, frustrated. "Nothing works anymore," Rumi said. "I do what I've always done, but the forest doesn't respond." The monk smiled gently. "You're using summer habits in a winter world," he said. "The forest has changed. The question is, will you?" So Rumi tried something new. He explored a path he'd always avoided. It led him to a clearing full of berries he'd never tasted. He met animals he'd never spoken to, a hedgehog who shared her shelter, an owl who showed him new hunting grounds. Bit by bit, the forest became familiar again, not because it returned to the past, but because Rumi learned to walk forward. Months later, when spring returned, Rumi sat beneath the whispering tree once more. "I was afraid to change," he told the monk. "But the forest didn't wait for my permission." The monk nodded. Life never does. But those who bend with the wind, like the bamboo, are never broken by it. If that touched something in you, don't leave empty-handed. Like, subscribe, and carry this lesson with you. Change isn't the end. It's the beginning.